On today's Domain Sherpa review, a private portfolio is reviewed, including detect.com, jna.com, and babyoutlet.com. The Sherpas don't all agree about the namejet domains going to auction soon that include etb.com, medicalbillingservices.com, and dctowing.com. And one Sherpa sweeps the Name That Price game. Stay tuned. I have 3 sponsor messages before we get into today's show. First, if you have a great domain name and nothing to show when people visit, you're missing out on potential advertising revenue, leads, and partnership opportunities. NicheWebsites.com can build you a site quickly with a price option to suit any need. But as their tagline says, they don't just build websites, they build businesses. NicheWebsites.com. Second, if you're buying or selling a domain name or portfolio and you want an estimate of its value, Estabot.com is the place to go. Just like you'd visit Zillow.com to get an estimate of a house value, Estabot.com provides key information about the most important statistics so you can make an informed decision based on data. Finally, whether you're buying, selling, brokering, or financing a domain name, you need an escrow company that's properly licensed, bonded, insured, and audited. That company is escrow.com, and they've been doing it since 1999. Escrow.com. It's about trust. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Cyger, publisher of DomainSherpa.com, and this is the Domain Sherpa Review. This is the show where we get into the minds of successful domain name investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics. We have 3 sections to the review: an investor-submitted domain name portfolio that we're going to review and discuss, a marketplace list from namejet.com that you might want to bid on, and we're going to wrap it up with our Name That Price game. Joining us today on the Domain Sherpa Review are 3 past Sherpas and thought leaders. In order from left to right, we have Adam Dicker, CEO of dnforum.com and nichewebsites.com, the company that will help you build, rank, and update your website. Next up, Andrew Rosener, CEO of domain name brokerage MediaOptions.com and partner of the reverse auction domain name marketplace DNX.com. And Paige Howe, founder and president of JoeDomains.com, DomainOutlet.com, and founder of the Domain Tip Sheet, where you can find hand-selected domain names for only reg fee. Sherpas, welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's good to have you guys back. We were just commenting before the show that last week we were off on the discussion. It's been a couple weeks since we taped a review. It's good to have my Sherpas back.
Well, I know how the users feel because I didn't much enjoy it. And what I did during the week was I listened to some of our old shows, and I was working, and every time I'd hear an Adam, what do you think? I'd look up like, oh, he's talking to me, but it really was just a tape. So I've got to get over that, and I'm glad to be back.
Good to have you guys back. All right, we're going to jump into the domain portfolio review. This is the part of the show where we take user-submitted domain name portfolios and provide honest and constructive feedback to the owners. Sometimes it's a great portfolio, sometimes not so great, but everybody always gets great feedback on their portfolios. If you're watching this show on YouTube, click on the link below in the description so you can see the full list of today's show. Today's portfolio was submitted by Sam Cohen, fellow Seattleite that I had the pleasure of meeting at DN Seattle earlier this year. If you're in the Seattle area, anywhere around the geographic area, go to dnseattle.com and sign up. I'm thinking about running another meetup in fall of this year. As part of Sam's submission, he made a generous donation to the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center to help us all find a cure for cancer. Sam's list of 16 domain names starts with babyoutlet.com and ends with wifitechsupport.com. Hey, Drew, let's start with you.
Okay.
What domains do you like on Sam's list, and what retail price would you set on them if you owned them?
So actually, there's quite a few names I really like on Sam's list. There's a few names I'm not a big fan of, but definitely there's some good stuff in here. I really like, just starting at the top, I like babyoutlet.com a lot. As a new father, well, my daughter's a year and a half now almost. But
you're still pretty new.
Yeah, but still pretty new. So I know how much parents spend on babies, and it's a lot. So babyoutlet.com is a killer brand for a baby store. So I like that one a lot. If I owned
what
it,
retail price would you put on that one?
Yeah, I'd be looking for like 25 to 35, I think, on that one. Detect.com. I know that the sort of smart gadgets market is super hot right now, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. And so Detect.com could be a number of sort of smart device things, but most obviously, fire detection, smoke detection, air quality detection, all the stuff that some of these new smart detectors do. So I can see that one doing pretty well. I'd probably be looking for, I don't know, probably 35 to 50,000, probably closer to 50 on that one if I owned it.
Is that a big enough industry? When you're looking at detect.com, clearly single word dictionary definition, you can see a use case for it. How do you determine if that's a big enough industry to say, yeah, that would be a good brand for a store?
So I think there's multiple use cases. I mean, you've also got, private detectives. You've got multiple other offline or sort of non-smart detection type of scenarios and industries. So I think Detect.com has a lot of different, potential uses, and the more uses, the more value. And just basically from experience, I mean, seeing what some of these sort of not category killer names, but sort of real brandable one-word names sell for, it's generally in that $25,000, $35,000, $50,000 range, and I mean, sometimes you see them going much higher than that. So I think, at least shooting for 50 is a pretty reasonable, fair market value number, and I definitely would see it selling for 25 plus for sure.
Okay. What else do you like on the list?
So then everybody knows I love short domains. So I like JNA.com a lot. The shorter the better. I stick to that. I think JNA is a great example. I'm not a huge fan of the letter J, but better to have it at the beginning than in the middle or at the end. So I like that one. If I were going to price it, I'd be again looking for 50 plus. That's just kind of where I price most of 50 to 100 is where I price most of those sort of second tier three letters. If it's a triple premium or something that's got more acronyms, I generally price those north of 100,000. Yeah, I'd be looking for 50 to 75 for that one. I've been having a lot of luck actually doing lease deals on the three letters, or lease to buy, right? So they're making payments with an option to finalize. I like Online Pet Store, although I don't love it, but it's a decent name. That's an example of a type of name though that probably is going to be impacted by all the new GTLDs. It's because you're just opening the door for so many more different substitutes, and the more substitutes, that's a basic principle of negotiation. Is it's always about what's the next best alternative, right? So. You've got petstore.online or, onlinepet.store, or, you've got a million different variations that you can come up with among these new GTLDs. And, and then you've got of course, good old .net.org and petstore.net, petstore.org, and lots of different alternatives. So I don't really see that one going super high, but probably, $5,000 to $10,000, and probably that's the upper limit, I would guess. I like Pool Toys, again, probably $5,000, $10,000, maybe get lucky, 15. I think that's it. I think those are my my top movers.
Okay, cool. Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the list and why? Uh-oh.
I agree with. Apparently, I'm silenced after all these months.
Well, we lost your video feed for just.
I like. Sorry.
Hey, Adam, we lost your video feed. Can you click the video off and then video back on your screen, and let's see if that.
That better?
I see your picture now.
Try again.
We hear you just fine.
Well, I'm back, but I see me. Anyway.
Do you guys see Adam? Paige, Drew?
I don't.
No.
I'm wearing my cloak of
No, I don't. I don't see Adam.
All right. Well, it may come back on, Adam. Let's we know what you look like. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean it's really me. So anyway, Baby Outlet, good name. I agree with Drew. It's a great name. People spend a lot on babies, but they also spend a lot on their pets, almost as much or more than they do on babies. So I'm going to disagree with the online pet store. I do like the name. I think it's a great name. It's a good name. It's not a great name.
Yeah.
I like Detect. I think it's good for things like drivers on a computer where you want to detect what's out of date and things like that. I mean, it's good for a few other things, but to me, that's my primary use. Mortgage, obviously, house mortgage spelled wrong, not interested. JNA, I like a J. It doesn't bother me. Jewish Network Association, could be anything. Whatever you want. I like the J. Pool Rafts, think is good. It's a product. It'll sell well. Pool Toys, love that one. People spend a lot of money on pool toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked this one up, Tree Tent Hammock and Tree Tent Hammocks. I didn't know what they were. Can you see my face yet, by the way?
No, it hasn't come
All
on
right,
yet.
well, I'm smiling because this look really cool, and I wanted to get one because it's instead of hooking up to two trees, it just hangs off a branch. But there's like 100 different types of them, so
That's pretty
it's
cool.
pretty cool. And the advice so it's a good domain. To me, that's one of the better domains here because it's a really specific product and a lot of people want it.
Mm-hmm.
The valuation, I think, from Estabot is 0, but I say this is a great case of the hell with Estabot. Build yourself a site. He's got a decent product site that's posting pictures now, but sell products, get them drop shipped, and you can make a lot of money because it's hard to compare prices on these things.
Yeah.
URL Wi-Fi support, I like it. I think it's decent for phone support. Use laptops. Huge Estabot value, like 184,000.
Yep.
Good search volume, but I would warn against this one. This one may be at its peak right now, so I would think about selling it now because we know everything's going over to tablets. The term laptop is going to disappear in the next 2 to 3 years, so do yourself a favor and start thinking about selling this one now and get yourself usetablets.com instead when you get that bucket full of money.
Hey, because this sucks that I can't see your picture because, you know, I want to see your face. Oh, there's your face. It just popped on, but not your, it's your, just your static picture, which is better than nothing. So let me ask you about used laptops. You say, you know, one of the things that I like discussing with you guys is that you all see different trends that I don't necessarily see and the audience doesn't necessarily see. You think that laptops are going to go away and that people are just going to have tablets with, you know, removable keyboards?
I do, and if you've paid attention to the latest news coming out August 31st is the new Microsoft Surface 3, and they're billing it as replace your laptop with this thing. I mean, let's look at laptops in general. A laptop usually has, remember, there's laptops and there's notebooks. Now, a laptop is the bigger, clunkier ones that have the DVD players and the Blu-ray players, which nobody needs anymore. Blu-ray and DVD is a thing of the past. It's all being replaced by USB or cloud drives. So that gets rid of that. And generally, laptops are going to be replaced by these new tablet PCs that have as much RAM as a desktop PC and can do just as much.
That's funny because I had no idea that there was actually a technical difference between laptop and notebook. I use what I think is a laptop, my Mac, and I do video processing, which I could never do on a tablet because it just doesn't have the processor. I don't even know if the software is available to run on it.
You may want to look at the new Microsoft Surface 3 coming out August 31st. Not a commercial for them, but the specs on it are amazing. It's a really good machine. It's a laptop/tablet.
Yeah.
And I'm picking one up at the end of August. They have like 6 different models with different hard drives and this. But again, if you're using cloud, you don't need a really huge one. And it's going to be a pretty good, great product. So,
well, interesting. I will never leave Mac. You know, I bought an Apple IIe back in, 1984 or something. And since then I haven't been on Apple. And then when I started developing apps like 4 years ago, I bought an Apple and I'll never go back again because my computer just always works and I love it. But, you know, I'll listen to your...
I have heard that Apple does make a tablet, don't they?
Yeah. And I like their tablet, but I can't do video processing on it.
Isn't it called iPad? But they'll come out with some...
All right, Adam. I can't even tell if you got a smart-ass, smirk on your face or not.
I do.
I don't like used laptops either, but for a different reason. I don't necessarily agree that the word laptops is going away anytime. I don't know. Who knows? I'm actually not even that tech savvy, despite being a tech entrepreneur. However, I just think anybody who's going to buy a used laptop is going to go to eBay or Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's very difficult to compete. In the sort of the used. Used hardware market. I think that's pretty saturated.
Not only that, but one of the issues with laptops is a lot of the used ones are stolen.
Oh yeah, good point.
This is actually a developed site. It's the number 7th ranked on the natural search for used laptops. He's got product up there. So at least he's in the business now, which I agree is maybe mature, but at least people are spending money on it now. So it's a little more than a raw name. I think it does show, unless he's an SEO guru or something, but assuming he's just put some minimal effort, I think it gets back to the reason we all do some of this domaining stuff is for the help in the rankings and things like that. So I have some different views on this, as you might expect. I think there may be a backlash against the changing of all the websites to be for tablets and mobile devices only, because I think content creation is done on laptops and desktops still, and it's almost getting in the way now where they change the site so much to be responsive and adaptive and everything that you really can't work with it sometimes if you're creating content. It's great if you're just consuming it. You're in someone's ecosystem, you're doing exactly what they want, you're linked into everything, but if you're more independent and trying to create something, I think we may see all the websites be mobile and tablet driven, and instead of having a .mobi to go to for Mobi, we may end up needing like a .desky or something like that. Where if you do have a 38-inch screen and you're on a desktop with the keyboard, somehow the site is redesigned for you. So
Paige, all these new laptops support HDMI and large monitors, so they're not going to go away. It just makes it easier to travel with something small that's powerful.
Yeah. I don't know, Paige. I am marking down your statement saying that you think that more people are going to go desktop in the future, and when they do,
I didn't say more people, but I said that it's a different use to be a content creator.
I agree.
And if you're working 7 hours a day, getting stuff done, that's a lot different than what you need to sit on a couch while you're watching 95 hours of Netflix.
Correct. The people that are doing videos,
you're not sitting on your couch. First of all, you're not sitting on your couch with your tablet unless you're playing games or watching stupid movies. I agree that that's
I'm going to build a web page going like this on the little keyboard on my thing.
Desktops will remain popular among the over 80 crowd, the same people that read newspapers.
I think there's plenty of people. I use my laptop entirely. I don't even plug in a separate monitor.
Hey, new is great, but mature businesses have more people spending money now. So I'm a little more positive on used laptops, maybe because at least you're making money now with it. And it isn't, oh man, one day we're going to own a bunch of the market. And sometimes you need a buyer to have been in a business as opposed to always thinking that the smart guy with lots of money is buying for 10 years down the road.
All right, so mark this day down and let's check back in 2 years whether there's laptops around or they're all tablets.
It's checked. I'm going to write it on the NameJet screen behind me. And I have bought used laptops in the past because my first Mac, I'm like, I don't want to pay this money for a Mac, but I bought a used one off of eBay. I didn't search for used laptops. I just go to eBay if I want to buy something used.
How long ago was that, Mike? How long ago did you buy that?
That was 3 to 4 years ago. I bought a used laptop.
Yeah, that's about when it started to die out, so that's good.
And I loved it, so I bought a new laptop. I'm going to buy newlaptop.com. Hey, so before we move on to you, Paige, to get your input on the portfolio, Adam, I didn't hear any prices. What would you price out Baby Outlet at?
Right now, maybe 5 to 8.
Okay, so lower than what Drew thought. You liked detect.com. What would you price that one at?
I thought he priced it a little bit high, but it is a good one.
It is.
It's a good one-word term. It's not baby detector. It's not radar detector. It's not update detection. I mean, it's a tough one because it's not update drivers. I'll leave it at 10 to 15, and I'll be 10 below him.
But
Just
isn't it
because
better
that's-
that it can be used in multiple industries? That detect is shorter, better, and which, you know, in my opinion, would be better than like, you know, airdetector.com or.
But you've got a wide variety of products you could put on there. Everything from CO2 detectors to fire detectors to private detectives to anything you want. I mean, to driver detect. Some of these things don't even relate, so they look silly all on the same site.
Right, exactly.
I'd probably pay 10 grand for detect.com.
I know. I probably would too.
So I put 125 on detect.com if I was owning it. That's what I.
Is that an offer, Paige? Is that an offer?
No, if I owned it, that's what I would be asking for it. So I think we have very few one-word action words, and the ones that we do have, we have less and less of. Now, if he's an investor who's investing $10,000 a month to buy names and trying to make $10,000 by selling them, that's a different story. But if you own this name and you said, "What's my strategy?" I think you have to say it's rare, it's scarce, it's action. It doesn't have much substitution, and that you don't have to wonder what they're saying. A lot of the synonyms for detect, like find and look and stuff like that, are going to be through the roof, you know, crazy expensive. So I think you've got some scarcity value here, and I think if you know, you need your buyer to want it, right? Okay, we're making that assumption that your buyer wants it,
right.
And then your buyer says, "Well, what's it worth?" And I think you can make a case that it's worth. I'll just go back to be conservative and say north of you guys, because it is singularly unique, it's special, and I think, you know, you owe yourself to ask more for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Paige. I was going to ask Adam for a couple of other prices on online pet store and pool toys because he liked both of those, but since he just dropped off, hopefully trying to fix his video, let's just switch over to you, Paige. So you just talked about detect being higher, and I probably would ask what you would ask if you
I
owned
think
it
it's
as
got
well.
a wholesale value. I think it's got a wholesale value of 10 to 15,000, maybe. I'm not saying, everybody and their brother or something like that, but I'm saying if you had a 30-day marketing period or something like that. But I'm assuming if you own it, like what Drew and I talked about last week, you paid $20,000 for it or $25,000. You paid 17 or 18 for the wholesale value, and you paid 6 or 8 for this upside over the next so many years.
Yep.
And you're trying to, you're hoping that's going to be a bunch. So I would wait for a bunch.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so what else do you like on the list,
I'm
Paige?
all in. I'll take it for 10 grand if the owner wants to sell it.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so you're offering 10 grand right now if Sam wants to sell it.
Hard money, baby. Hard money.
Hard money in his account tomorrow. All right, there's a hard offer right there. Paige, what else do you like on the list?
Well, I think we've mentioned everything. The only ones we didn't mention, and I'll just mention them because they were sent in. Computer support 24, I don't think any of us liked, and I don't either. RS Park, couldn't find a reason for that with RSpark or RS, or so unless there's something I don't know about that's that's named that. P Tech support, couldn't quite come up with what the P was there for, whether it's personal or whatever. So couldn't get excited about that. URL worth, again, it's an appraisal site for domain names because URL means that, but it just doesn't have any pizzazz to it. It doesn't have, so I think you could probably find a substitute. Wi-Fi tech support, hey, it either works or it doesn't. That's what we like about Wi-Fi. You unplug your modem, you plug it back in. If it works, it works. If not, you go buy a new router. So, you never want to get tech support there. So those are the ones that we didn't mention, so they're mentioned. I like the pool names because they're pure product names, but I thought it was something that you might buy on the way to the pool, maybe less likely to buy it and get it shipped and have it in 3 days. But they all have, good value, 1 to 4,000, I guess, if I was asking. Wholesale buying them, a lot less. Online pet store. So let's talk about online and internet. Online and internet, you could say they're redundant. Well, online pet store, well, of course it's online. You're looking for it online. But I think it does give you a chance to, and you may have to brand your company like, OPS or something like that, or where you don't have to say the long name over and over again. But you are trying to wedge your way into a business by saying we are the online pet store, onlinepetstore.com. But you may actually have a brandable name that you use when you talk about your site on the website, like OPS or something like that, or Jones's Pet Store at onlinepetstore.com. So I think it has value, but I'm not sure you want to always stick with the generic name, but you want to maybe just use it in your marketing strategy.
I don't know. It seems like just having you to explain it right there seems like a lot of work as somebody who runs a business to have to use the domain and brand it, and you got to use it consistent. I don't know. It just.
I don't think online pet stores.
As soon as you have to start explaining your brand, you already lost the battle.
You really need me to explain online pet store to you what I'm selling? Come on. It's a good name.
I did
just go online.
Campaign. You know, you're going to get a great click-through rate. You're telling people exactly what you want, but you know, I just think that the value is very low because there's so many alternatives.
Yeah. Now, in comparison, I just did go to wag.com, W-A-G, as in dog wagging his tail, owned by Amazon, which also owns diapers.com and a bunch of other generics. They're operating a separate website that just does fulfillment around online pet products, and they, I believe, use...
I have a live prop for you, wagging the tail.
What is that thing? Is that a cat?
Hey, leave her alone. She's my angel.
All right. Hey, Adam, we're going to go back to you. You didn't... I want to get prices, retail prices from you for online pet store and pool toys if you owned them.
And now I understand you can see me, so we have a visual.
Looking good, buddy.
Pool toys, and what was the other one?
Online pet store.
I like online pet store, unlike these other two gentlemen. I like it. I think it's targeted. I think it tells people what I'm selling. And pets are a huge brand, so I'm going to go with $15K on online pet store. And pool toys, is that the other one?
Yes.
Pool toys I'll put at 15 as well, because I know how much people spend on pool toys. It's a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought some just this year. So I'm actually I met Sam at the DN Seattle event. I connected with him on Facebook, and so I could see his status updates. He's actually building a warehouse to store pool toys that he's going to sell and fulfill. I don't know all the details, but I've been tracking him on Facebook, and he's in my database of future people to interview once they've, exhibited some.
So what you're saying is, ding, 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 I chose a winner. Pool toys.
I'm just saying, and I can't remember where I saw this, but I think Pool Toys used to be an operating site in the past, and I may be wrong, but anyway.
Maybe one day he can compete with adult toys.
Who's got that one?
Or he could do his adult pool toys. There you go.
There you go. All right, anything else on Sam's portfolio that you guys wanted to talk about?
Is this all he has, by the way, or does he have a lot more?
I don't know. I didn't do a search. Most people, when given the opportunity to submit, they submit like the maximum number of domains, 25, and it was refreshing to see 16. Maybe.
I can tell you this: Sam's doing a good job at picking out names, because for 16, this is one of the strongest portfolios we've seen with 16 names.
Good feedback.
And I can get a Dell Latitude for $349 at uselaptops.com. So,
I'm sure you can, because they're going down and down and down. Pretty soon you get them free. At usebricks.com.
I'm going to go to used laptops right now and see if I can get a Mac there.
Listen, I'm just trying to give you guys advice about 2 years in advance so you're prepared for it. What you do with this information is up to you, Sammy, buddy, but it's as high as it's going to be now, so think about selling it.
It didn't resolve for me. Oh, that's weird. Not found. You actually got there, Paige?
Yeah,
you know
went
what?
to the Amazon site. Amazon is controlling your browser, and they're not letting you go to any other store sites.
No,
Probably a typo. Probably Paige had a typo.
If you don't put the www at the beginning of the URL, it doesn't resolve. So he needs to add an A name or a C name or something like that.
Yeah, an A name.
You need to go to Adam's shop and get that fixed.
Then he also is probably not using his wildcards properly either. So, and it's 404 pages. So
they only have an iPad Mini that's been sold out and an iBook G4. I wonder who is using as the back-end provider.
Free DNS advice for Sam while we're doing the portfolio.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna give some or no?
No, we just did. We told him to fix his wildcards in his 404 page. He's losing 30% of his traffic.
Yeah. All right. Drew, Paige, do you agree with Adam that this is a nice portfolio? Sam's heading in the right direction.
Portfolio. I think you could probably shed 50% of these names, but I think the other ones are solid names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's obviously willing to build, or at least put up a stage. I'll call used laptop. He's staging his domain. He's showing what it would look like. He's grabbing some common law trademark rights, I think. He's retaining his Google position. He's at least, doing something. And then with the other product ones, it looks like he's getting ready to go. The tree tent hammock, I really think the hammock is tough to add on the end. Tree tents, I think, is what they maybe go by a little better. And maybe even tree tent store, the tree tent hammock, a little long. That's why I didn't like that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sam, we hope that this review has been helpful to you in your domain name investing activities going forward, and we look forward to seeing pooltoys.com going live with the new warehouse, and when you're successful on that, having you on DomainSherpa for an interview. Quick break from 3 sponsors of today's show. First, are you tired of being upsold and cross-sold when you buy or renew a domain? Then try the newest registrar being built from the ground up with a beautiful interface, competitive pricing, and 24/7 support. Uniregistry.com will surprise and delight you. The right domain can change your life. Uniregistry.com. Second, investing in Chinese domains is crazy hard without expert native language advice. Now, as a service to the Western domainer community, TLD Registry offers ChineseLandRush.com. Using ChineseLandRush.com will help you invest in Chinese domains with confidence and without knowing a word of Chinese. Finally, MediaOptions is a boutique domain brokerage firm that gets results. They've specialized in helping companies acquire and sell high-value domain names since 2005, with a client list ranging from funded startups to Fortune 500 corporations. Visit MediaOptions.com to learn more. All right, we're going to move on to the marketplace list. This section is sponsored by NameJet. We'll be reviewing 16 domain names heading to auction soon. If you like any of the names listed below, click through soon, because once they go to auction, you're going to lose your chance to put in a minimum bid and be a part of the auction, which includes just watching the results. All of the names on the list, I believe every single one has at least one bid. So if you put in $69, which is the minimum, you won't have to buy the domain and you can watch all the results. The list
Although
starts.
all bids are retractable, Michael, so be careful.
Bids are retractable on NameJet? I've never seen that. How do you do that?
Some people will put in one bid for a name so everyone else sees it, and then you put in a second bid, and then they cancel their first bid, and you just bought the name.
But how do you cancel a bid? I've never seen an option to do that.
Well, you cancel your back order. I'm sorry.
Oh, a back order. Yeah. Okay.
Which is the same as a bid because they'll have it all under one system.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, if there's like more than one bid or 5 bids, most of these have like 30 or 50 bids. You don't need to worry about it. Put in the 30. All right. So the list starts with bestringtones.com and it ends with woo.uk, W-U.UK. And Paige, let's start with you this time. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
Let's see. I put wholesale and retails for everything. And as I go down my list, I had tie for the winner is etb.com, but I'll let Andrew talk about the 3 letters because it's not a market I do a lot of. JobShare and medical billing services. So I'll go with medical billing services. It's kind of a weird deal because it's not like you wake up in the morning and you say, man, I want to do some medical billing today. But doctors tend to outsource almost all of it. They're always like 9 months late on collecting their money. So anyone that says they can collect the money faster is great. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of government money out there to put your stuff online. So, I mean, you'd want to be in the business to go after it. Yeah. Can you build your own medical billing services directory? Maybe, but it's a big market. So I put that as a 7,500 wholesale, 50,000 retail. And I put JobShare at the same thing, 7,500 wholesale, 50,000 retail, with the idea that people want to work part-time, employers want to hire everyone part-time, so pretty soon they'll figure out I'd rather hire 2 part-time people to share a job because I don't have to pay them full-time benefits, and then maybe you have an app that says, maybe we all end up having 2 part-time jobs. So I would go for a job sharing app. The sharing economy is big. We share houses, beds, cars, all kinds of other stuff. So those are my top 3.
But I don't get the business case or the business use. Like, I understand job sharing is big, and we see it in large corporations. But, like, how do I make money if I own jobshare.com?
Well, it sounds really good, doesn't it? So if you're in the business, you're jobshare.com. So, I mean, right off the bat, I think you've got, a good sounding name. And then, whether it's recruitment, recruitment placement commissions usually a percentage of the first 6 months or the first year of the person's salary. So it's a high commission, high lead number area.
Okay. All right. Hey, Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
What do I lick?
What do you
I would go with, so let's talk about what I don't like first of all. Cam Studio, trademark, big TM.
Bam.
Camtasia Studio, Cam Studio, stay the hell away from it. That's why it's got an appraisal of 111,000 with lots of searches. Don't like it.
Okay.
Best ringtones, good name. I also like one that Paige didn't talk about. I love DC Towing. Towing is a really big business where they all sit around the intersections and highways. They charge you a lot of money. It is incredible for lead generation. So I like that. Let's see. I kind of like, even though I hate .org, I like .org because I think it's kind of cute, but I'd never buy it. Engineering school, okay. etb.com, good. I'll get into an argument in a minute over 2 letters versus 3 letters. Job share, I don't know what Paige is talking about. I think it's for 4 people, each want to work 10 hours a week. So I don't really like it. Paige, turn that damn phone off while I'm talking. Medical billing services, great name, great high PPC. Paige, is that me? Hi, hey Paige, how you doing? Anyway, medical billing services, really good. He threw me off with that call. Shangzi, it's a city in China, 600,000 people. Shilling, city in Taiwan, 84,000 people. Tiny cities in comparison. Soccer World, good brandable. Triple Credit Check. I mean, there's only really 2 major credit card checking bureaus in the States, so triple's a little much. Vegas Line's not bad for a betting service, but I really like the 2 letters on the UK. So why do I like them? Because I own over 100 different 2-letter domain names, and I've sold many of them. I sold like pw.ca to Price Waterhouse, and over the years I've sold tons. If I ever owned anything and I just kept my 2-letter domain names, I'd be set for life. So the best advice I can give you guys is, yeah, these things just came out. They're not worth a lot today, but they will be. If you can sit for a couple of years, you're going to make a shitload of money on these domain names. So it's the best advice I can give you. I would drop all my generics to hold these ones because I know what I've sold them for and I know the potential to sell these things. So hang on to them. They're good. ETB is a good domain name, no question about it. I'm sure there's lots of acronyms for it, but there's only going to be 5, and I know this because there's like 626 2-letter names in any one of them. So
676.
What? 676?
Yep.
I must have bought the other 50. But anyway, 676, so you want to buy those up, especially if they've got good letters like these do. I think Wu, no, it's Wo. Wo means something in Chinese, like, I forget. But pick these up. These are good names. If you're going to bid on anything, bid on those.
So let me ask you about some pricing. You like medical billing services. Esteban had a retail price of $7,200. Do you think it's going to sell for $7,200 at NameJet? Do you think it'll sell for close to retail?
No, I don't think it'll sell for that at NameJet, but it could certainly sell for more than that retail to a billing company. There's no question. But I would put it at about 20.
Yep.
20 plus for a billing company.
For retail. And then what about DC Towing? You like that one. What would you, if you owned it, how much would you sell it for retail or offer it for retail?
I wouldn't. See, names like that I like to keep it and get monthly income from them. So if I had to sell it, I'd sell it for $4,800 because on its own it's nothing. Mm-hmm. But as a business, it's putting out, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 leads a month. Mm-hmm. It's a huge business. And you should be able to get 1 lead a day in a towing company in DC. Yeah. So. And I'm sure there's already towing companies there called DC Towing. Would make sense. So you've got a couple different avenues for it, and I like it.
Do you say you like bestringtones.com?
I do. It's got a lot of traffic, a lot of search volume.
Yeah, but people still use ringtones? Like, does that?
They do. They download them. They look for them. Kids look for them all the time. It's got a lot more traffic than worse ringtones, so I tend to like it.
All right. And then nm.uk and wu.uk, you said you liked. It's an unsupported extension in Estabot, so we can't even get what a retail or wholesale value are. But if I put in nm.co.uk or wu.co.uk, is there some sort of... Do you think that the .uk's are going to be more expensive than the .co.uk's, would you say?
Let's put it this way. If you can get them for anything under 10K and you can afford to sit on them, grab them.
Really?
Yeah. And you can bet I'll be in those auctions.
Yeah.
All right. I think, Mike, they're going to be the same. I don't think they're going to... The same owner of the Co-UK is going to own the two-letter, most likely, unless they gave up their rights. And they're gonna be like paired together for 10 years.
Well, they wouldn't be in this auction if they didn't give up their rights, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know all the details, but it seems like whoever owns these is selling them on NameJet, just the .uk's. So, all right, hey Drew, let's go to you and let's start with these two letters because you like your 2- and 3-letter domain names. Do you like the nm.uk and the wu.uk?
Come on, Drew, give me some backup here, buddy.
So, I mean, here's the deal. So I love 2 letters. I love 3 letters. I think, we own a number of 2-letter .de domains. I personally have never sold a .uk or a .co.uk, so I can't claim to really know that market. But, I mean, it's England. It's United Kingdom. It's a big market. I would imagine these 2 letters have some pretty significant value. Unless, of course, the Brits are as cheap as the Deutschers. I think
you can sell to 2 countries with that.
I'm allowed to say that because I'm married to a German. But yeah, no, look, I agree with Adam. I mean, I think you can't go wrong. It's 2 letters. I mean, again, shorter is better. We're moving towards a mobile internet. We're moving to people who have no patience for anything, and so the faster you can get them on your site, the better. And there's no faster way than a 2-letter whatever. Well, I guess in some extensions you've got 1 letters also.
So what do you think they're going to sell for on NameJet?
Honestly, I truly have no clue. If I had to guess, I'd say 5 to 10 grand each. Mm-hmm. But I honestly, I could be off by multiples. I really have no clue. What I'm curious about is, so if you owned the .co.uk, you've got the rights to the .uk. But if I buy nm.uk, I've got no rights, I assume, to nm.co.uk. Mm-hmm. And so since the incumbent is .co.uk, I'd be pretty nervous to own nm.uk without having the co.uk. So it's a little tricky here. It's a little tricky. But outside of that, I love .org. I don't even know why. It kind of sounds awful to say it, .org, but I just like it. It looks good.
It seems like the registry should own that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does seem like the registry should own that, but apparently you don't. I like etb.com. I like it so much that I actually used to own it.
What did you sell it for?
I don't remember, to be honest.
That's usually a pretty good number. It was so
high, I can't even remember.
I'd like to have someone say, I don't remember it to me.
And all of a sudden, Bill Clinton. I don't remember that woman.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sure it was 20 or close to that or something. I mean,
yeah.
I really sell the 3-letter.coms at wholesale. This might have actually even been a trade deal, but I think that's a solid name. Medical billing services we've talked about a lot. I agree. Huge market, growing. It's actually medical billing and coding is actually the full term. Medical billing and coding. But yeah, big category, and I think that name is worth a lot more than $7K.
Yeah.
Triple credit check. It's a brandable. Good name. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of covered it all.
So what about Soccer World? Nobody has mentioned Soccer World yet.
Yeah, I said it was a brandable.
Yeah.
You know what? America is not a soccer country, although we may get there after the amazing performance by...
remember, Drew, though, it's not just America that buys com domains.
No, but it's soccer. Everybody else says football.
Right.
Or
I agree.
footy or something other than soccer.
Yeah.
What do you say in Canada? Do you say football or soccer?
Same. Soccer.
Do you even play soccer? Do you even play anything up there?
It's the first sport we get our kids involved in because it's the easiest for them to learn. Quick story with that. My two sons, one of them, this is expressed this in life. One of them used to run towards the ball, and one of them used to run away from the ball.
I used to pull my shirt up over my head and pretend there was no ball.
All right, so nobody really likes Soccer World because only
football.
in North America do we call it soccer.
That's a
And
good point.
Paige used to play soccer. AYSO.
I think Soccer World's a great name.
You do.
Yeah, but I mean,
It is what it is.
name?
It's
Look,
a possible name for a store. So for a domain investor, you're buying it to have on the shelf in case someone says, I want a name for a store, and then you got to hope that they either fall in love with Soccer World, and you got to buy it at some discount to what you can get out of them. So it's all about price. At
You need to own that name at under $100 to unless you get lucky. I mean, to make it a business, a viable investment, I think you need to own that name for under $100.
Right, or you got to put a shitload of time in to build it out into a big soccer forum, store, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts on the NameJet portfolio before we move on?
Just a drog.com in the Urban Dictionary stands for a drunken jogger. Just thought I'd throw that in. It's true. But watch out for that Cam Studio, people. Don't get it.
Could be a medical marijuana name, Dr. OG. OG Kush is like the hot strain of marijuana. Dr. OG.
Dr.
That could
OG.
be it could be a good medical marijuana name.
Yeah. Now you're going to bid
Might
on
be
it.
my
aren't
new
you?
email alias, Dr. OG. or OG is also old school gangster. You know, if you're in the world of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, you know, I'm an OG. Dr. OG.
I think you just sold that name. All right,
I like
Sherpas.
it. I kind of just sold myself on Dr.
Yeah,
OG.
you did. Yeah, that and .org. You're gonna buy that one too. All right, Sherpas.
Probably
We're
not.
entering the
But I
lightning
like
round.
Dr.
What'd you say, Drew?
I said I'm probably going to talk myself out of .org, but I really might go for DROG.
All right, today we're playing Name That Price. Paige Howe is the reigning Sherpa on top of the mountain. Let's see if another Sherpa can take the summit this week. How'd you like that analogy? Good? Yeah?
Love it.
All right. Here's how the game works. I name 3 domain names that sold within the past 12 months to end users. I have verified their end users. You write down your price, the price that you think it's sold at. No looking up search volume, past sales, no going online, no printing out any pictures yet, Adam. The closest answer wins that question. First up, I wanted to pick a domain name that I think is representative of a lot of brandable domain names in people's portfolios, so we can get you guys to comment on that. The domain name is shirtmonster.com. Shirtmonster.com. What do you think it's sold for? Write down your answer.
What is it?
Shirt, as in your shirt that you're wearing. Shirt.
Are we still going with the old rules? This was a retail sale in the past 12 months.
Look, it's sold to an end user. I am verifying that it is an end user. It did sell within the past 12 months, and we're just waiting for Paige to write down his answer. Hold on. All right, here we go. Paige is saying $4,500. Drew was saying $1,888. And Adam is saying $3,000. Drew, did you write $1,888 because you think Mike Mann owned it and he priced it at $1,888? Wasn't he doing that pricing
Just
scheme?
in case somebody else said 1,800 or.
All right,
There's a lot of sales at the 1,8888. level.
All right, so you're all in the same order of magnitude. Drew's basically 2,000, Adam's 3,000 pages, 4,500. You all feel like it's not a 5-figure domain name; it's a 4-figure domain name, right?
Personally, I think it's like a $7.87 domain name.
You think it should be hand registration?
Yes.
Well, it had to be at least 1,500 to make the charts.
Exactly.
All right, it's sold for $2,000.
Yeah, actually, I just totally failed because if it wasn't 2,500 or higher, it didn't even make Ron Jackson, or 2,000 or higher, it didn't even make Ron Jackson's list.
It sold for $2,625 on Afternic. Adam gets the W on that one. It is custom designed T-shirts and sweatshirts, exactly like what you'd expect. You go there, you pick a shirt, you upload your design, and they print it for you. Wouldn't you guys agree that this domain name is very representative of domain names, brandables that we all have in our portfolios?
Unfortunately.
It's representable, but I mean, depending on your negotiation powers, you could have got it a lot higher.
Yeah.
So it all depends on who has it and how much they need that $3,000 and if they're willing to negotiate.
Well, yeah, I don't know that we learn much from a sale like that. You know, that's just a shot in the dark. You know, that guy may or may not have 10,000 other domains that are also representative of the same niche, and it just so happened that some guy wanted that one. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't take into account the cost of registering or buying the other 9,999 names, which didn't sell for $2,600 and whatever dollars. So
right. No, definitely. You know, I
don't think you can. If you're out there thinking you can make that happen, like if I work hard this week, I'm going to sell Sock Monster for $2,500 by putting effort into it. I don't know if you necessarily can, but if you say to yourself, I'm going to own 100 of these and pay $800 a year. Will I sell one at $2,000? You just have to do it, and you'll find out whether you pick good ones or bad ones. But I don't think you can necessarily, if you get in this business and effort toward it, and I'm going to make that happen, it is very tough because it's just.
Well, so it's a lottery, right? And these are the kinds of domain names that I'm trying to drop out of my portfolio because I don't want to play the lottery game anymore. I don't want to own Shirt Monster and T-Shirt Monster and Shirt Demon and, Gargoyle T-shirts. There's a million different options. Somebody just happened to see this one on Afternic or GoDaddy if they were partnered at the time, and it probably had a buy it now price, and they probably just bought it right then.
Your return on investment buying 69 scratch and sniff lottery tickets is going to be way better, I would guess.
There's no scratch. There's just scratch.
I'll take the other side of that. I think domain names have an uncertain value and an inefficient distribution system. And because of that, you could buy them at a significant discount to what they may sell at. I'm not saying they are selling at them, and I'm not saying that domain names are a good strategy for preservation of capital. To take 20,000 and put it into so many of these, and that's preservation of capital. It's a risk asset that may or may not be priced efficiently at the wholesale and retail level, and you can buy something and sell it for 200 times what you paid for it. Understanding everything else, that's the upside, and then Andrew's obviously talked about the downside, which is you can own a lot of them and never have one sell.
Right.
So what was that about domains at the beginning? Something about insignificant this or that. What was the beginning of that page?
What's that?
You started out by saying domains are an insignificant.
They have an uncertain value.
Yeah.
And an inefficient distribution system.
Okay, stop there. I think that should be the commercial for the domain industry.
and it will be for our stuff coming up in about a week. Yeah. But that's
so. Here's an example of a name, okay, and I'm just looking up to verify. Yep, okay, so we just sold this morning NewYorkTitle.com. This was a name we owned. We sold that for $9,888, and we bought that. We bought that on August 21st, 2012. So almost exactly 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. We paid $68 in a small bulk purchase of like 20 names that we bought from some portfolio owner.
Hey Drew, if you sold that, you ought to put this hat on because man, that's a wizard deal.
So, those are the names, though, but that's the point I'm trying to make is not that, wow, I'm so awesome, because I am.
You are, buddy.
No, the point is this, is that that's a much better representative example of the types of names. If you want to go out and buy these sort of low-end names, we bought that for $68. You can go on NamesJet right now and buy gobs of names that are in the
DC Towing.
for $68.
DCTowing.com.
And to Paige's point, this is the kind of name that now I didn't go out and hustle this. Somebody knocked on our door and bought it for $9,888. But the point is that if you wanted to go out and hustle, you could go out and probably contact 150, title companies, title insurance companies, title search companies, legal firms in that niche in the state of New York, and say, look, I've got this domain. I want to sell it for $2,500, for $5,000, for $10,000. And you will find a buyer. I'd almost bet my life on it. So that's, instead of buying, I don't even remember the freaking domain now.
We were talking about
instead of buying shirtmonster.com, you go buy New York Title. It's the same. It's the same, same category. You're going to spend the same amount of money, but here's a domain that if you want to go hustle, you can go hustle.
Right.
That's how we got our start. Is I went out and hustled, and I found those end users, and I sold that name for $1,000, and then rolled that into buying 2 names for $500 each, and then sold those for $5,000.
All right, hustler, good sale. We got to move on.
Okay.
Good sale.
For a second, I thought this was the Drew show.
Was that a fixed price or was that a negotiated price?
Well, there was not a fixed price listing. The guy asked me what the price was. I said $9,888, and he said, "Okay, I'll take it."
All right.
I didn't know at the time. It turned out to be like the biggest real estate agency in East Long Island.
More research. All right, next up. All right, the next domain is a 3-word phrase that was inspired by Adam Dicker. All right, I picked this one based on a domain name you own, Adam. The domain name is 3 words. artofselling.com. artofselling.com. What do you think it sold for? Write down your answer. artofselling.com. All right, Adam is writing. Paige is ready. Drew is ready. All right. Nope. Almost ready. There you go. Adam is saying, I can't see Adam's. Paige is saying $8,000. Drew is saying $7,888, and Adam is saying $3,000. So
I'm sticking to $3,000 all day.
Drew and Paige, you have almost identical numbers. Adam, you're half the price of theirs. Why did you think it was only $3,000 to buy Art of Selling? You didn't think it was that good of? It's a good name, good brandable, but not great.
It's a good brandable, but it's more of an information site. So I'm not sure I could do a lot with it. I just find it as a good info site or a coaching site or something like that. So I don't think it would, as a three-worder, I don't think it would have sold that high.
Yeah, and it, not to say that there's an enormous difference between $3,000 and $8,000, right?
No, it's not at all. It's almost the same category.
It's almost the same. It's the same order of magnitude, I would say. But just to try and differentiate it a little bit. All right, so I don't think there's much more to learn unless Drew and Paige, you think is there some reason that you guys were so close that $8,000, you just thumbed it and you're like, I think it's an $8,000 domain?
I certainly like it a lot more than Shirt Monster.
So you put a higher price, $6,000 more dollars. All right, it sold for $3,388 on Afternic. Adam gets another W.
Oh, man.
I know, he just locked you out. So it was bought by a sales training company. Exactly what you mentioned, Adam. Bank, B-A-N-K. It's a trademarked phrase. The Bank Personality Sales Training System is a revolutionary training program designed to increase your sales by up to 300%.
But see, it's an example of a $3,000 or whatever it sold for a $4,000 domain name, perfectly suiting their needs, and they got a hell of a deal on a good name. Yep. That's perfectly targeting and brandable for their business.
Yep. Yeah.
And I would say that for buyers out there, companies, with the amount of names that are available for fixed price, there should be a lot of happy buyers out there finding exactly what they need for fixed price. And at the same time, the strength of the market works against the buyer for negotiation names, because I think most domainers are doing a little better, and they're more inclined to go back to asking more for names than maybe 2011, 2012, when they may have started a little lower. So the distribution system really makes a difference, I think. We've seen some names in the past couple of weeks that had a lot higher numbers than we thought, and those were probably negotiated. And then the ones that maybe are fixed off or people picking them off are probably, fixed price.
Yeah. Good point. All right, so we don't even need the last domain name. Adam gets the win, right? Or should we try and go for the three-peat, the complete shutout?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to do it.
I'll go for the block. I'll go for the block.
Last
Double
up.
or nothing, Adam?
All right, last up. It's a
Hold on. I did that once and I lost. I'm not messing with it this time.
I know. Yeah.
Forget.
All right, last up. It's a two-word phrase. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to name the domain, and then this is a little bit different. I'm going to allow you guys to ask me any questions you want about the domain name, like how many searches, what cost per click, what kind of ad. I'll give you a little bit more information if you need it. If you don't need it, just write down your number. All right?
Nah, because during the time that you're asking those questions, Adam will have already searched the archives.
No, he's not searching. I'm watching him. All right, so the domain is drugprices.com.
Adam searches with his toes. He types with his toes.
Anything you want to ask me about drugprices.com before you write down your answer?
How much did it sell for?
No, but not besides that. What else do you want to ask me?
Judging by the psychology of your face, this is a much higher name.
I've got a number.
You guys
Let's
don't even care what searches or ad volume or...
It doesn't matter.
You could care less. See, that's what I wanted to know.
The seller picked a number out of the blue, and that's how we price domain names. We pick a number out of the blue.
Okay. I'm going way high on this one because I don't trust my...
Reveal that secret. Nobody's supposed to know that.
All right, show your numbers, boys.
I'm going way high because of your face.
All right, Paige is going 14,500. Adam is going 50,000, and Drew is going $25,000. All right, so basically, Drew. Let's see here, my math. Drew, you said almost double the price that Paige said. You said 25,000, and Paige said 14,500, and then Adam doubled your price. So we've got like double. Why is there such big disparity between you guys? Is it just because you're all just saying, hey, it could go for whatever?
Well,
I actually think this is a great name. I mean, drugprices.com, I mean, with the increased cost of healthcare and particularly prescription drugs, I mean, people that want to compare, and now with the availability of, although it might still be illegal, importing, pharmaceuticals from Canada.
Hey.
People want to compare drug prices, and I can see that being a very successful site, big niche. Certainly, drug companies make a lot of money, and so drug prices. I would say that's probably a real solid name.
Yeah,
I would have to say it's a good name because you could put up information about drugs. Besides prices, you could have a store where they could buy them. You could have side effects. You could build basically a big encyclopedia and do those top 10 or those top 5 charts where you do comparisons of all the different companies that are selling. You do it all with affiliate pricing.
Yeah, Mike, I figure I'm just trying to pick whether you picked a name that sold for 20% of its value, or did you pick a name that sold for 5 times its hypothetical value, and that's the type of range we're in terms of guessing what happened.
Paige, you got to know Mike. He gave us 2 names around $4,000. This one's going to be way up there. It could be $100,000.
But he may have thought we were thinking that and gone for the third one low. So
no, he's a sharp guy. He knows how to trick us.
So now I need to figure out who I want to play poker with and who can read my tells a little too well. Adam gets the W again. Repeat. He said $50,000. It sold for $55,000 on GoDaddy.
I'm telling you, Adam types with his toes. Adam's got monkey toes. He's typing on the keyboard on the floor. It's popping up on the screen.
How much was it? $55,000?
$55,000 drug prices sold for.
And I bet you the buyers going home going, we paid $5,000 a year rent for the next 10 years to own the drug price market, and they're happy as can be.
Yeah.
What's the site? Let me look at the site. Is it a good-looking site?
No, it's not. So it's under privacy. I left it in the competition because it does say our launch partners include American United Health. It looks like a large corporation bought it, but then hasn't actually done anything with it. So
When did they buy it?
a year ago.
And this is what they've done?
This is what they've done, which doesn't surprise me, large corporations, but
Look at all the followers they have and the likes.
I know.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So if you think that we're in a perfect market and that all customers are smart and ready to go and fund it and put the name to work as soon as they get it,
right,
you realize that besides our prices being all over the board, the quality of the buyer is all over the board.
Yeah, but we benefit by that too because they can't do proper research. They have no idea. It's basically if they have the money or not, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
And it's the mindset of the seller is probably the most important thing in the asking price for a domain name, in my opinion.
Mike, I didn't have time to bring out a broom today, but it was a sweep, buddy. Now we can take a week off.
It was a sweep. That was nicely played, Adam. All right, we got 30 seconds apiece to promote anything you want. We're going to start on the right with Paige. What's going on, Paige? What's new in your life that you want to talk about?
Well, this domain tip sheet's been very interesting. We put up about 100 names a day that are available for free registration, and then we ask a $10 honor fee that you send to us. So we're kind of like your private domain research staff, and we do about half names with great stats and about half names that we just mix different keywords on. And so far, we've probably had about 200 names taken from about 40 different customers. So we've just started with a couple list of newsletters of only about 150 people. So we'll probably start growing it. So again, this isn't like, oh my gosh, I want to buy $1 million name, and could you find it for us for edge fee? But if you don't have the time to do the work, then we're doing a lot of the work for you, and you can try to pick it up, and you owe reg fee plus $10 to us. So
can I pick up a name like NewYorkTitle.com there?
It's possible. We'll probably run all 50. We'll probably run the top 200 cities with title and have them up tomorrow.
I'm sure that'd be good.
Because immediately after selling NewYorkTitle.com for $9,888, I hand registered SouthCarolinaTitle.com this morning. You can go in the Whois and you can even verify that.
Yeah.
So
So that's the kind of stuff that you look for, Paige, on domain tip sheet. You're looking at trends on stuff that's selling, and you're saying what is just as good as that, and I'm going to give you the full list. That's what people can expect at DomainTipSheet.com.
Yep.
All right. Drew, let's go to you. What do you got to promote, buddy?
Oh, man. Well, I guess I'll break it out here first. We just launched ganjapreneur.com. We are going
Hold on, what's the domain?
Ganjapreneur.com.
Ganjapreneur. Okay, just so that people don't know what it is.
Ganja and entrepreneur.
Ganja, one of the words for marijuana, and entrepreneur, and it's Ganjapreneur. It's entrepreneurs.
Do you have a store for this yet, Drew? Do you have a store like in Denver or somewhere it's legal to sell this stuff?
We're not selling any products at the moment. We might be selling T-shirts and hats later on. What we are doing is providing valuable news, editorial, and interviews, similarly to what Michael's doing, but in the cannabis space, to entrepreneurs in the cannabis space who want to know what are the benefits and the hurdles of operating in this space and what's happening in the space. What is the current events? What are the news? And who are the people that are making it happen?
That is a good-looking site, buddy.
We've got a team in Seattle and in Denver, and they are making it happen. And it's an exciting project, and it's a very exciting space. It's probably the biggest thing to ever happen this after the internet. I think it's probably the second biggest thing to happen in my lifetime.
How are you making money with Ganjapreneur? No,
we're not making any money. Right now we're just spending money. But the plan is to make money down the road.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll keep you updated if we start making money.
All right. So you don't have any plans to make money right now?
Right now, I'm not even focused on making money. I I look at all these tech companies these days, and you're not supposed to make money.
No.
If you make money, nobody wants to invest in you.
Grab
you're
market
not
share.
Supposed to make money. You're supposed to grow and make grab market share. So that's what we're doing, and then we'll see how that works out.
Cool. Well, good looking site, buddy. And you can subscribe on there. Go to Ganjapreneur. You can get email updates. Just type in your email address and hit subscribe.
Absolutely.
And it looks like I can buy a bong on there as well.
Probably
There's an ad right there. It says Smoke Cartel. Shop now.
One of the advertisements.
It's behavioral targeting, Michael. It's probably what you've been looking at.
I'm told that's a bong. I have no knowledge of it. All right.
Yeah.
Adam, let's go over to you. Anything
I don't. Honestly, I don't think I really have much today. Just that NFL's back. We saw Eli Manning fumble as usual the other night. We're putting out a DNF pool like we do for, this will be the 8th or 9th year, thousands of dollars up for grabs. All you have to do is be a member on DN Forum and you're in. We're going to have hundreds of people in this year, and there's going to be lots of prizes, including free ticket giveaways to NFL games. It's going to be a lot of fun. So get over and sign up, and let's have a good time and cheer on all our own NFL teams.
Seahawks, baby! If you receive benefit from today's show, post a comment below and thank today's Sherpas. Thanks to Sam Cohen for submitting his portfolio for review and making a generous donation to help find a cure for cancer. Thanks to NameJet for submitting their portfolio and sponsoring the Domain Sherpa review. And thanks again to our Domain Sherpas for sharing their experience and insights. Congrats on the 3 sweep there, Adam. We'll see you all next time.